Hello, hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Hello, how are you? We are welcome you guys to the Q&A for the Rich Woman Standard. Would love to see some people on camera. You guys are all off camera. Let me know when they're on camera. And Sash, do we have any questions that we're going to answer?
I didn't see any questions in the group submitted.
All right. Well, we'll open it up and we'll give you guys a chance to ask some. Oh, there was someone emailed a question though, didn't they? I think somebody emailed a question. Let's see what it was. I sent it to you, Sash. Oh, how do I have this many emails? Oh, is she in our rich woman, the woman that the email I just sent you? Anyway, well, welcome to the Q&A. Part of the Q&A, we just finished our Millionaire Club call, which this is what we were inviting you guys to join. And it was so next level. Every week I have a transmission in there that I'm like sharing with everyone and teaching them about wealth. And today we were just talking about how certain areas of your life you can see where your core wounds are actually holding you back when it comes to money. But also, that rich woman standard and who she is how she's acting. Like that version of you already exists in the quantum field. It's already a done deal. But are you actually showing up as her every day? And most women are inferior or they fear the next level that they can go into because they aren't in the most powerful state that they could be in. And the thing that I love to teach about is to have women step into their power in a way that's not generic, but one that's, an embodiment of power, which, I was saying this earlier. You see people who have lots of money, they're powerful people. Elon Musk or Bill Gates, the people that have money are the ones that have the most power. And when you understand that power and money go hand in hand, you'll start to see why it's important for you to really expand your own power and how you show up. Because I think that a lot of people are waiting for money to come in for them to feel more powerful, or they're waiting to go viral on YouTube or on Instagram or wherever to feel more important. They're waiting for association before they can actually step into their true authentic self because they're hoping that there's going to be some magic pill or something that's going to bring them to that next level. And it's usually doesn't work that way. Ulrika was just on our Millionaire Club call. How did you want to share in the chat how you thought it was? I mean, you joined our group a little bit ago and she's now here. And one of the things that I love to teach about is not just about how to make you a lot of money because that's easy. That's easy to do. It's about being able to get to a place where you are an attractor of wealth everywhere. Like all the monies are coming to you. And being a rich woman, these are like this is like the steps that I would take if I was creating that persona for myself. So if you were imagining, and I'd love more people to get online and on a camera, please, because I could talk to my people here, but I'd love you guys to come off the camera that are on the Q&A. As I'm giving you my time, I'd love you to come on. As one of the things that I believe that a rich woman does, and it's not just rich in wealth, but she's powerful. So if you know money goes hand in hand, thank you for coming on camera. If you understand that power and money go hand in hand, you would be showing up in a very different way online in your life in the most powerful state that you can be in. And a lot of people think that when they get the money, they're going to be more powerful. When they get the money, they're going to be wealthy. When they get the money, they're going to be a certain way. And that's the fallacy. And that's why most people are creating wealth from survival state and not from abundance. They're creating from a place of lack and not a place of growth. And you self-abandon yourself when you're doing this because you're not actually creating from a new identity of who you need to be. So purchasing things are one thing. Buying physical products is another, is the same thing, but the embodiment of wealth is a completely different game changer. And if you cannot embody the wealth, what happens is you're not able to sustain the next level of growth that you have to go into. This is where the feast and famine comes in. But a woman who is very much in that rich woman standard is of the expectation that more money comes to her. A little clip that my team just posted on Instagram. Actually, Shannon, can you go run and accept it everywhere? I didn't get to do that yet. I just did it on my one page. The billionaire that I interviewed, Sofia Castro, I said, chasing money is not the way to go. And she agrees it's like the success that she's chasing. But really, it's like the identity of the woman who desires it. Why do you want the money? Why do you want the money? Why do you want the wealth? Why do you want to be rich? Why do you want all of those things? What can they do for you? What is it that you're trying to achieve with it? Is it just to get out of survival mode? And many people, it's like they make money, but they still are in survival mode. I know women who make 8 figures a year that have more scarcity than someone who has no money, because the way that they created that money from fear is a way that they operate with that money, and it's in fear instead of being in a state where they just know and expect that money's on its way to them. So if you're not in a place where you can really understand that money is there for you, you are going to operate from a place of scarcity, which is not going to be, I'll say lack, a place of lack, more so. The rich woman, she has a standard where she lives by, where she's like, if I, no, when I am at this next level of where I know I need to go or where I know I'm going, I know it exists already, this next level of power for me, what will actualize in my life? What will show up or all around me for me to be in a state of this is what it feels like. If you don't have $10,000 in your bank account right now, you are living out of survival mode. If you can't make investments or you're not in a place where you're like, how does my next level? You're doing things operating on a very old system and a very old patterning that's not helping you grow. It's from a place of just feast and famine. And it's not what a rich woman would be doing. So that's not the standard to be at, right? It's at a place where you're just trying to get by. And I used to be in survival mode too, even after becoming a lawyer. I didn't understand what that meant to not be in it. And if how you do one thing is many times how you do many things, not always, but you are the blueprint for your life and business. So if you yourself are in survival mode, your business and your money will be too. And when people are in survival mode, they create that armor, that emotional armor on their hearts, and they do it subconsciously to protect themselves from any pain or hurt that could come up in the future. And so when they do that, they're doing it because they don't want to ever have disappointment again in their lives. And but what that does is it doesn't open for the expansion of the overflow of wealth or for the opportunities of where money can come from. Last night I was recording podcasts up until the wee hours, like until 12 o'clock last night. I got off the last one, which is going to be amazing. It's dropping next week. And if you're not subscribed to my podcast, team, can you drop it below and go ahead and subscribe to it, because I literally give so much free information in that podcast. The difference between my free stuff and where you come into my paid stuff is that I give you actionable tools every single week. Like today on our call, I do transmissions every week when it comes to money. And it's completely different than the content that I'm putting out and outside there. It's so tailored and specific what you need to hear that day. And that's why people get on the calls, they pay to be in the programs, is because of the contact of getting into that wealthy acceleration. Lena, who's one of our lawyers, she just joined our group. She's a woman that joined our group. And she hit her highest cash months at $130,000. She said, Shamina, just being in this energy, I've already expanded to where I need to go. And but if you're around you're only yourself that doesn't have the highest frequency of wealth and expansion, how are you going to bring yourself up to the next level if you are the top of the level where you are right now? If you are it, where is there to go? There's nowhere else to go. I mean, there's only information seeking and not you embodying that next level of who you are. I knew to get to my next level, I needed to hire mentors, and that was really important for me. So, what I was talking about was about last night, I finished talking about power and being empowered and what it looks like and how money goes hand in hand with it. It's true power, right? When I got off, I finished that last one. I opened up my email. I just got invited to speak at a wealth summit by a New York Times bestselling author guy. He's going to have Joe Vitale there, a bunch of other big names that teach, similar stuff on the same topic. And they asked me to be on that summit. That's how fast the frequency can work for you, because the opportunities are already there, but you're not a match to them because you have not leveled up to that level of power within inside of yourself, because you're still in survival mode. You're still operating from a place of desperation instead of a place of expansion. And it might not be full desperation that you think like I need, but you're thinking that you are not it yet. You are not the wealthy version of yourself right now, because you're like, what else needs to happen in order for me to become that woman? When you are at that state, you're not fully embodiment of the rich woman standard. That makes sense? So embodiment is important. This is why I have a wealth consciousness event in Chicago, and it's on October 2nd and October 3rd. That is a room you need to be in. That is a transformational room. The women that leave there are like, they're not the same. Women transform so much that we have several of them that got off a plane and went and cut their hair right away. Um, Nora, she's just connecting. She's in my millionaire club. It says Zoe on there. She was on our millionaire club call just now. What did you think about that call? You and Ulrika were there.
Great call. Amazing. I mean, it's always, your calls are great. They always speak to you. They're always something that you needed to hear. And it's just weird how our energies match to whatever we needed to hear. So yeah.
Everybody today said I needed to hear this conversation to hear, because that's what I do. I channel the transmissions. So imagine if it's just you obtaining information all the time, but not getting a mentor to actually show you what your next move is. That's why you go and you invest into other programs, because maybe that conversation that you need to hear is going to open up to $100,000 more coming into your company, because you're like, hey, I didn't look at it this way. Whatever's going on with you is always reflective inside your business. Always. Doesn't matter. So I did an exercise today where I asked the gals to show me where their money triggers were. I said, let's take a bill that really triggers you. And one of the gals said it was her medical bills. She might actually be joining right now. Medical bill. I said, okay, it's your medical bill. And I said, well, we went through a couple of questions, and I asked her, come to find out, it was her betrayal wound that was really behind the medical bills. It was something that was going on with another aspect of her life previously, but because she had not fix that core wound. I found that within how long did it take me to find that, Nora? And I mean, how fast did I get that, Ulrika? I mean, it was in minutes. I was able to get to her core wound. And I don't even do hot seat coaching in those programs, but it was so easy for me to go like this and find out where the thing is that's blocking her. And she does have betrayal. She does have a betrayal story, because she had an ex-husband who cheated on her. And so she's got something, but it's showing up in her money. It's showing up in so many different aspects of her life. And if you don't take care of the core wounds, they will come up and they will constantly be affecting how you do things. And so, yes, you can. Yeah, definitely. Where's the replay? I mean, is it up? Oh, is that for me? Was that for me, or was that for Sash? Shannon. So if you don't, so this is not to say that you can't make money having a betrayal wound. This woman who we were talking about, she owns a State Farm agency. She makes money. However, she works really hard to make that money. She's constantly in her masculine in survival mode. She's constantly doing the most, and she's not getting to enjoy it the way she wants to. And there's a lot of fear around wealth creation and the use of wealth. She did buy a ticket and she's coming to Chicago, like a lot of women. We're almost halfway sold out. You should get into that room. That could be the best place for you to come and be a part of what we're doing. The price of the tickets are going to go up, so make sure you get in there. However, you don't realize that something that might be a norm for you is actually an impediment to your success. And being able to mirror that back to you, you uncover it, you open up more wealth. And that's what I do, because the rich woman standard would not be feeling betrayed by a medical bill. It's a medical bill. But when you take things personal, you are not in your power. You're actually in a place of disempowerment. And if you're in disempowerment, are you really going to attract the type of wealth that you want? Because money is attracted to power. It's not attracted to scarcity and lack and disempowerment. That's why I teach what I teach. I do it very differently. There's nobody out there doing what I'm doing. There's nobody out there teaching it the way I'm teaching it, because they're telling you to click your heels and write down 500 times, I desire money and I'm a money magnet. Tell me how that's going for everybody. That's not calling in more money, is it? Right? It's not. It's and then there's a lot of shame. I'm not making money. So when there's shame around that, is that empowered? No. You feel lack, you feel guilt. You're not creating wealth at the highest frequency that you can create money at. You're feeling, you have a place of like, I I'm undeserving. Okay, Dana just joined. She sent a question to email. Best ways to start rewiring negative money stories from childhood, i.e., mom always saying we're poor, don't have money, don't spend money on X, don't take my kids. So whatever belief systems you have, I would write them all down, especially if they're negative, that don't support the expansion of more or more wealth for you. And I would ask yourself how true they are. And really, do you want to believe them? Just because they were a belief that you had from that it was your mom's belief. My mom told me I could waste money. However, I realize that money cannot be wasted right now. I told her she has to stop telling me that. I remember the day I told her. I was telling her about clients that were signing up. I think I had like a $60,000 day at the time. And I was like, oh, I make it. She goes, save your money. Don't waste it. I'm like, Mom, don't you ever tell me I can waste my money again, because it's my money. I can do whatever I want. And I didn't want her. And she goes, I'm so sorry. I just want to make sure that you're taken care of. And I don't want you to feel like you didn't have, I'm a grown ass woman. Don't tell me what to do with my money. And it was boundaries, telling my mother that, but it was also, it's none of your business anymore. You get to have do what you want with your money. I do what I want with my money. But when there's enmeshment with your parents, you're going to have enmeshment with your money. And if your mother passed on her trauma to you, you're going to have the same trauma that's going to be up working in your business as well. And if you have not been able to step into like a highest level of power, you're going to always be making money from a very survival state. It's going to be hard for you. It would be hard for you to adopt and embody the rich woman standard, because you're operating from a place of lack. I mean, that's really what it is. Now, when you become a woman who's super empowered, you go create your wealth. You do whatever. You're convicted. You have the confidence. You are taking risks and opportunities. You're not sitting here worried about an investment. You're all in on yourself because you're betting on you, because you held your word to yourself. You're not sitting here nickel and diming or taking free programs. You're in there all in doing the thing. And so when I see women who are like, I mean, and listen, when I started, the moment that I got money coming in, I took that money and reinvested it back into somebody who could help me, because I knew that I wanted to get there faster. And when you can shift the identity of the woman who is not being in her power, that you, like the highest level of power, and it takes some time to do this, because it does require you to resolve and dissolve all of the core wounds in a way that, not all, but in a place that you can manage it, where you can upgrade to that next level. Because if you have these core wounds like abandonment, betrayal, and unworthiness secretly seeping gas into your money, you're going to be running up an uphill battle trying to create wealth. So I would write them all down, and the rewiring happens like this. Very basic. Is this a true statement? And do I want to believe it? And I would find evidence of where all of that has been apparent in your life. If your mom told you could waste money, well, then you probably feel you can waste money and money can be wasted. What do you want to believe? Whatever you assign meaning to becomes law. Rewiring your neural pathways requires you to find out what your belief systems are about wealth, but then regulating your nervous system is in the next level. Is like, how do I feel good with big money? Because most people are afraid of their next level and their power, and this is why they're not wealthy, or as wealthy as they could be. That makes sense. Rivi, you can ask a question. The VIP is when I'm going to go in and you're going to say, here, this is my story. This is what's happened to me. And I'll be able to give you like very, you know, coaching things, but you can ask a question right here if you want to.
Okay. I'm not sure if I should wait then, if that's the
It's okay. We
case.
can continue. I mean, go ahead. I'll tell you yes or no.
Okay. So like I mentioned, after watching you, like I have changed my mindset and I'm adopting them. I receive money easily, but I think before when I used to receive like loads of money, like when I received like 30,000 dollars, I would get like scared, like, oh my God, is this money going away? But after watching you, I just feel comfortable in the knowing that money is always here with me and money's always here to stay. So no matter if it's coming today or tomorrow, I'm always comfortable and happy. Um, I want to ask you, after watching your interview with Cardone, how she helped you open up your limitations or understand your limitations with like dating. I want to know, like, as like women, as we are women and we're having more higher standards and making more money, how do we trust and know that, like, we'll be able to attract more men of our caliber as we, achieve more? Because I think there's this notion that like the more money you make, the
Sure.
less options you have for men. And I never want to lower my standards, I've been there, done that, and that's not for me. I want to have like millionaire husband and who
As you
can,
should.
can take care of me and provide for me. And I want to like relax into that belief that that's there and available and don't have to do anything to earn it. It's just like how I feel with money. It's just there.
Well, money and men are the same frequency, right? So it's like my ex-husband provided for everything, paid for the mortgage. I never had to pay for anything like that until now, until I'm on my own. I had to pay for my own mortgage. However, it's like being able to know that you get to be taken care of in spite of the amount of money you made or how successful you are. At the end of the day, the masculine doesn't really care about what you're doing. Like, yes, he wants you successful, but he also wants to know that he can take care of you and provide for you. So that means you just got to up your game. So maybe your guy isn't a millionaire, maybe he's a multimillionaire or a billionaire, depending on how much money you're making. Maybe you're going to go for that next level. Is it possible? Absolutely. You can attract that type of person into your life. I've dated many men that were very wealthy that would take me shopping and buy me things and pay for everything. And I actually have never paid for anything with a man, ever. That's just not something that I'm attuned to, because it's an expectation that the man should provide and take care of me. Now, there are women on our last call that we just had a millionaire call earlier this morning. There's a gal there that pays for everything in her house. And I'm like, that's a change. I asked her what one of her triggers were with her mortgage. And of course, because her man should be paying her mortgage, not her. She shouldn't be providing for that family. And that's some work that she's got to deeply go through and figure out, because we do have if you are the one that's paying all your bills and you're partnered and your man's not coming in to take care of that, then you're like you're out of alignment. There are going to be people that are going to tell you, oh, it's going to be so hard to find a guy who's going to come in that's wealthy, because he's going to want, if he's got money, he's going to want someone younger. And I don't believe that's true. I don't believe that's true at all. I believe that you can attract men who are emotionally intelligent and that are all the qualities that you're looking for if you just decide. Now, if you're looking for a man to save you and you need saving, that's survival mode energy. That's not you being thriving. If you need someone to come in and pay for your bills because you can't do it yourself, that's a different type of energy, right? But my girlfriend, she lives in Miami. She has her own company and she attracts many men who have money all the time, that they literally put their credit cards on her phone for Apple Pay for her to pay for stuff. Her boyfriend that she has now spends about $15,000 a month. She does on his credit card, taking care of herself, and she has her own company. He just wants to take care of her, and that's the vibe. So she believes that men are here to take care of her. And if you can get into that state of that money and men are here to take care of you, it's the same thing. So it's just a matter of allowing yourself to be in the receivership of it. Are you going out on dates and insisting people pay? Are you telling the man how successful you are and proving how successful you are? Because that conversation is for men to men. Women are there to be taken care of, to feel beautiful, to feel seen, and also provide a safe place for the man for his emotions. But if you are constantly proving your success and you are one of those people that are really strong-willed and look at me, look at me, look at me, you might be repelling certain men, but the right guy will come along. So I shared in my millionaire club, I'm not going to go into everything here, but I shared a mantra with them that is the same with men and money. And what I would say is this: decide how, if you feel like you've gotten so comfortable that you are making money in your business on repeat, where you're making large amounts of money and you're making $100,000, $200,000 a month, whatever it is, it's the same frequency that it would be for a man because you've adopted the same methodology. You just have to transfer it over into men. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's like I'm choosing to find my unicorn right now, but maybe I can go have fun with other guys. But every single man that I've ever dated has always provided and offered to do my hair and my nails and all the things. And that's just because they want to take care of me. And especially a woman who has a lot of things, a man wants to come in and do more for you because he knows that you don't need him that way. But when you ask for help or when you do receive it, he's like feels really, really wanted and he feels seen. There's a way around it. Did that help you?
Yes, it did. I'm trying to like transfer that. Like I'm trying to figure out ways of like using the same mantras because like the money thing, as soon as you started telling like saying it in the videos of money's my boo, like it started it changed for me like immediately. But I think maybe there's some blocks that I have emotionally with like men because obviously I've been in relationships and my relationship with my father is different. So
Oh, have you done our program Accessing the Quantum through Emotional Self Mastery yet?
no, not yet. Not
Yeah,
yet.
that'll help you a ton, especially so if your relationship's not good with your dad, we can talk about it in the next call. But if that's like an issue there, that you probably have a toxic patterning with men and you probably attract narcissists. And so that's probably where you haven't found your value and your worth yet in that relationship. I did the same thing, but it's going to be a matter of rewriting it to change what you feel you're worthy of receiving when it comes to men.
Okay. Talk to you
Um,
then.
I want to ask about the regulation of the nervous system. So what happens is that let's say, for example, I want to make so much money, just like what Rivi, did I say your name right? I started making more money, but then I was afraid I was going to lose it. So whenever someone's afraid of the shoe dropping or I'm going to lose it, they don't have a regulated nervous system when it comes to money because they have a fear that it's going to go away. And the moment that you have a fear it's going to go away, that's what you're going to keep promoting out in the world. So, it's being able to know that you can carry and receive large sums of money. And being able to carry and receive large sums of money requires you to lift the ceiling up, but also expand your capacity for more. So, making $1 million seemed like it was such a big deal for me before. And now it's like, oh my gosh, it's like $100,000 to me. Like, it's just not, I mean, my lifestyle and the way I live right now, $1 million is like, okay, and what's next? Like this morning when I was making my shake, I was like, my billionaire boyfriend, he needs to come in because I want to do all these things too. Like we have this lifestyle that we want to live by, like he's coming in, he's taking me on his jet and we're going these places. And I was already talking about it, like it was already done because why not? Like, why can't I be in that state of? And it's not being a gold digger. It's about this is where I expect the next level to go to of what I want in my life. And that's what the rich Roman standard would be. Right. And, my friends would be like, well, if he's a billionaire, he can date all these younger, like my guy friends would say, they can date all these younger people. And I'm like, well, I just believe that I can have that. Now, when your nervous system's dysregulated, you have like an anxiousness, an anxiety around money. You will have old money stories. You will feel a place where even when you have money, you have a fear of losing it. Even when you want to make more and you keep hitting this ceiling, you're like, why haven't I gotten past this? This is why like I don't really love teaching about manifesting money because it's not consistent flow. When you get into a state where you're reoccurring and having the same amount of money coming in plus and some and then some, you're in a different vibrational frequency when it comes to the wealth. You're moving yourself into like the overflow and into the expansiveness of what wealth looks like. And if you're dysregulated, what happens is you create money leaks. So I'll give you an example. There's this woman I know, I believe she makes, well, she might be close to making 8 figures. I know like a lot of women that make 8 figures, a lot in my circle of networking. And they have this fear. So this is what dysregulation would look like. I'm going to pay my whole house off because I'm afraid I'm going to lose my house. So instead of taking the $4.5 million and buying income producing assets, they'll put all their money into one asset for the fear that it could be lost, money could be going away. It does not make financial sense to put all that money into a house. Instead, it would make sense to leverage that debt and put it into other assets, purchase other assets that will create income, and then live off the assets, like the income from the assets. But someone with a dysregulated nervous system would be so afraid that they're going to go pay off the whole house. Another way is like they are anxious about the clients that they're getting. Where are the clients coming from? Are the clients going to pay? When you're dysregulated, you're going to always take clients that are not the proper clients. You're going to take people who just can pay you instead of people who are aligned, amazing clients, because the survival state that you're in is going to be like, well, it's money. I don't want to walk away from the money. I need to have this money because there's a client coming in to pay me. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to have this client come in. It's not the rich woman standard, which is like, no, I'm not going to work with this client who's coming in just because of how much I'm charging. I want to work with someone who's looking for a value-based result, who is willing to invest in themselves, do the work, and going to be my dream client. And the woman who is dysregulated will have a hard time saying no to a misaligned client because she has the fear that the money would go away and that she would be losing the money forever. So she doesn't trust because her nervous system's telling her in that trauma response, fight or flight, fight or flight, fight or flight. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, it's dysregulated. Does that make sense? And so this comes with like making an investment. Oh my gosh, I want to make this investment. I know it's a sure thing, but I'm so afraid. What if the money doesn't come back? What if the money comes back and it's gone forever? So guess what happens? They get stuck and limited and they don't move up into that next level. Another thing is I would love to buy this, shirt or outfit or whatever, but do I really need it? Gosh, it's full price. Maybe I should just wait till it's on sale. You know what? I really like it, but I don't want to buy it because you know what? What if it goes on sale and then you know what? Then I've already paid full price for it. And oh my gosh, I shouldn't do this. And like, it's painful. Some of the things that you're doing with your money, right? I'm not saying all of these things are happening at once, but one or something are. You keep the large sums of money in your bank account because you're so afraid to use it, because you're afraid it's going to go away and it's going to be gone forever. And what are you going to do next? And so it's a constant, anxious, worried state because your nervous system is telling you danger, danger, danger. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, we're not safe, we're not safe, we're not safe. And people think the having of money is going to combat that feeling of unsafe, like feeling not safe. And it's actually a false sense of safety. It's like a parachute with holes in it because you're not actually safe. You're thinking you're safe because you have the money, but because you're not able to use it and let it flow and let it grow, you're capping how much can come in. And you're also stalling the next level that could be coming in for you of what you desire in your life. Your next level of you, your rich woman standard of the next level is not open because you're constantly worried about how this money is going to be. And you think everybody's taking advantage of you. Like, well, I don't know. That person's taking advantage of me. That person's taking advantage of me. Like, did I get a good deal? Did I get a good deal? They're always looking for deals. Like, is that a good deal? And, you know, one of the things that we work on when women come work with me in the Millionaire Club is like, what's your pricing? Because usually a lot of the times when you're dysregulated, you're pricing your offers based upon what people can pay and not based upon the value that you're giving. And you're over delivering inside of your programs. You're over delivering in all of the things that you have instead of actually creating 5 different programs. You have one with everything in it. So it's just learning how to not feel like you have to over function in order to have the success or make wealth and have money in your life. I'll give you another example. Instead of hiring a team, she does it all by herself because being dysregulated, you feel like, well, I'm just going to pay that person to come in. I can do it faster. Instead of having, hiring a team member or support staff, like they're going to just leave me anyway. No one supports me. The best is I can do it. So you're wearing all the hats in your business that don't make sense. They're like not actual money making hats, but you're doing it all because you have a hard time receiving. So when you have a hard time receiving, you don't trust, you're not vulnerable, and you block the flow of extra money coming in from your world because you're creating out of the survival state. So anytime you are in survival state, you are not in a thriving state when it comes to money. And having a calm relationship with money is very important. And it's imperative to feel that safety around it, but going to your next level requires inner work. That's what my programs teach in order to step into that next level of power. And it's always the next level of being a woman who is fully empowered to create all the money that she wants. That's what happens next. But if you're dysregulated and you feel anxious, you will also fear your own power, and that will keep you stuck in a loop and repeating the patterns over and over again and staying smaller than you should be instead of expanding into the more. Does that make sense? So anxiousness and anxiety will breed more of the same. And for some people who are really in it, they are in this desperate state when it comes to money, and they are anxiously always looking for it and looking for evidence of it instead of knowing that it's on its way to them. Being able to create wealth is a very simplistic thing. It's easy to make money, and people understand how easy it is to make money, but making money is not creating wealth. That's not being rich, because anybody can make money. It's just it's how you get to that next level. And you know, I have women who are millionaires and own $1 million worth of real estate. Not all, some in my Wealthy CEO and my Millionaire Club, and they still have a fear around money, you know, really amplifying and growing the way they want. And I look at their programs and what they're charging, and I'm like, okay, let's increase your pricing. Let's make more. And these are women that have wired $25,000 to me to be in my groups. They have no problem investing in themselves because they know that's important. But it's like the other things, the littler things, is where the money gets captivated, and really being able to expand those places, start regulating them around the money. And like I said, if you have any cultural background that affects how you think, feel, and use money, and it's not about money at the end of the day, to be honest with you. It's about you and who you're being and how powerful of a woman you are. And if you're not a woman who's fully in her power, you're going to struggle with money, because power is the frequency of money. It's not money. It's not a currency. It's how much money you have is how powerful people feel. Like, you know, you'll see people, and I'll take men, for example, guys who are always talking about becoming wealthy. They're into this I mean, I've dated them before, where they're like, yeah, this is my like business to make money. And, you know, they have this idea of how they're going to become wealthy, and they think that they're wealthy, right? But they know deep down that they're not. And so that frequency will always be emitting through them, even though they'll try and convince themselves and others about how successful they are. At the end of the day, they know that they're not. And when people are in that state, it's really important for them to be able to activate the power of the rich woman prior to the cash coming in. And that is why I teach these programs that I do. Accessing the Quantum through emotional self-mastery is the highest level of power you can go. That program regulates your nervous system. I teach you about your triggers. When people are triggered, they're not emotionally mastered. They're handing their power over. I teach you about your childhood wounds and how to heal them and how to move that energy out. I teach you how to carry a trigger journal and how you can start realizing where you're being triggered and what are the core wounds that are coming up. We also go into, you know, what resentment looks like and how these can create certain money leaks, and the tangible, tactical things about how you can reprogram yourself to feel safe with large amounts of money and success, and evolve into your most empowered self. It is amazing when I watch women go through that program. Okay. The Millionaire Club, we meet today. We meet on 12 o'clock on Thursdays, and we have a call. And this call today, there's a couple of gals that are on Millionaire Club that are here. Well, one of them just jumped off, but we have a good group of women from all walks of life, different backgrounds, different businesses. And it's a place that you can come and be unapologetically rich. And it's a place where you can celebrate your wins. It's a place where you can walk through your emotional, discoveries of self. You know, the stuff that I put out free in social media is very different than the work that's done inside of the groups. This is where you quantum leap. Every week there's a transmission. I'm coming in and I'm giving you basically your money download every week, your information of what's going to take you to elevate you to your next level. And when you're sitting in it, you're actually having, upgrades instantly of where you are, and you're having this awareness and you're having shifts while you're on the call. And what we do on these calls is that we find and pinpoint an area that might be a sticker for you, like that's stuck, to open and expand more wealth to coming in. Women are celebrating things massively in their businesses. Another woman just posted today who joined Millionaire Club. She just had her highest cash month. So we're now at 345 women that have hit their highest cash months. And you saw that celebration, right, Nora in the group? I don't know if you saw it, but my team saw it. I mean, I am so good at what I do because you just don't realize the limits that you live in. And it doesn't matter how much money you're making. If you are not making what you want to make, you come to my world and I'll help you lift the limit. And you have self-study programs that you can go through, one that regulates your nervous system, one that really completely clears up any scarcity or lack, and another one that balances your masculine and feminine energy, because those are really important for you to shift the identity into the woman who is empowered and the wealthiest version of who she is, to call in the wealth that she wants, but also to remove the ceilings and the blocks that might be there. I teach you about how to master your emotions and why it's so important. And it's a step-by-step process. I mean, would you say, Nora, you have tools, right? There's tools, like you've got tools, and the community is amazing. Where can you go in your life right now and tell someone, I want to be rich? And they're like, yeah, girl, let's do it. They're going to, if anything, they're going to be like, what? If you became a billionaire, do you think your friend around you is going to be like, yeah, I'm going to celebrate you? They're going to be jealous, because not a lot of people have the emotional mastery to hold the success that you internally know is yours and desire it. So we meet once a week. It is $10,000 paid in full. Book a call. Team drop the call. Book a call with me if you're ready to make the investment, and you can get started right away. Today's call was probably worth the whole investment of the group. I mean, it's like that every single week. Every single call is like thousands and thousands. I can sell it by itself as a program. They're just fully packed of information, but also of a transmission to help upgrade you energetically. It's like being in this space, you are constantly being up leveled into the highest level of capacity that you can be in. And what you get too, if you can't make the calls live, you can watch all of the replays since I started the program back in 2023. You get all of the replays on top of the self-study programs. So you're getting, like, I want to say if I priced to sell everything, it would probably have been a $50,000 program on itself, without me even being in it, of the information that can transform somebody into their highest levels. When women start hitting that level of where they're like, oh yeah, of course I can be a millionaire, it's like it's quantum levels start happening. It's like the speed shows up and it's like, okay, I'm collapsing time. And I love all the women in there, because the investment for the $10,000, they're like, oh, that was nothing, because they get their money back in so many different ways. It's like they are here. Like when Nora's doing her second round with me, she was in there already for a year, and she already invested to be back again. She, she's a doctor, right? And so foot doctor, she's a doctor, she's still a doctor, but women that are in there, and they are, why don't we sell some of the call? Today's call? You're talking about, Shannon? Okay. Oh, in future? Okay. But you want to be able to hold the frequency every single week, because if you were left to go by yourself, watching YouTube is great, and I think I provide so much free information out there for people who don't have the money. However, when you are ready to make an investment, you do yourself a big disservice not making the investment to join the Millionaire Club now. You got 6 months left for this year. It could be your $1 million year. It could be the most extraordinary year, but it's like opportunity. So what I was telling the group is, do you guys know who Joe Vital is? Did I tell you this already on this call? As soon as I finished recording the podcast for next week, I literally got an email inviting me to be a big speaker on a summit. The guy who wrote The Laptop Millionaires, he's a New York Times bestselling author. But Joe Vital and a bunch of other big names in this field, I got asked to be on there. That's the kind of opportunities that you get when you start working in our world. If you think about, you are the average of the 5 people, you're going to be in the frequency of everybody working together to expand their wealth. You're in a group of opportunity. When you're one by yourself, you don't have the same expansion. When with your others, you're expanding into the more. And if you wanted to join the Millionaire Club and then ascend up to the wealthy CEO, we do that too. Are the live calls, Q&A, and trainings, or both? Oh, it's both. Everything. It's like I do before every Millionaire Club call, I channel and I give you a transmission. And today, everybody, Nora, you'll tell her, everybody today was like, I don't even know how she knows, but it's exactly what I needed to hear. I love that. Today you did. That's amazing. I realize how much I can help my patients with even more. Yeah, the work that I teach is like you're going to go and like if you are in any type of service business industry, it's going to go and it's going to expand into all the other people that are coming into your world, your clients, your friends, your family, your kids. It's not just for your evolution, it's for everybody that's around you. So, a lot of people start in the Millionaire Club and then they qualify up into the Wealthy CEO based on their income. And that's also an option. We just had three ladies that just ascended up into the Wealthy CEO because I'm a master at building a high ticket offer for you and so that you can create a premium product out there. It's one of the things that I know how because I'm like, I'll take your gifts and put it into something that I know you can go sell it for 5, 10, 25, $30,000. It's to me, it's the fastest way to create wealth. Because if you think about it, you have a $10,000 offer and you have 10 people join it. That's $100,000 a month, right? It's a very easy thing to do. Okay. Any more questions here? Are the live call training? Yeah. Oh, every week it's live with the both programs, the Wealthy CEO and the Millionaire Club. And you also watch the trainings. When you're onboarded into the Wealthy CEO, we have specific trainings we want you to watch for workshops. Like before we do your high ticket, we have you watch a workshop for high ticket so you can see how you can structure and bring it in. And then we help you with it. For those of you that want to amplify and use podcasting, we teach you how to build your own podcast. We teach you how to get on podcasts. We have hired people and realized that their system wasn't even superior to ours because we have a system of pitching and how to get on podcasts. I'm telling you, podcasts have been game changer for me on how I've built my brand and my presence online. Also, YouTube, my audience isn't that big, but I've made $500,000 from YouTube. And YouTube has brought in so many clients for me and filled our in-person events. It's been amazing. Helped my book sales, helped I have a whole system that people think they're just making videos on YouTube and they're not because they're not using the strategy that I implement in order to create it as a lead generation for your different revenue streams. My goal is to earn 100 euros per month. Could this program help me? Depending on what your business is, right? Yes. For the Millionaire Club, what it does is helping you expand into the next level of your limit. Like if you have a limit right now, I don't know what you're making right now, Jenna, did I say your name right? But let's say you're making, $20,000 right now. We've had women go from $50 to $100,000 to $95,000. It depends on what your offer is. The wealthy CEO, you would come in and I'd be like, well, what's your offer? And I can help you restructure your offer, create a whole offer suite for you so that you can then create an ascension of when people come in from the beginning, how they ascend up. We have such a clear ascension of how people come into our world. So it's been pretty amazing. Yeah. How you fill your master classes, I can tell you right now, you don't need paid traffic. You can make $1 million without paid traffic. You can do it organically and you don't need a huge audience to do it. You have to have your message dialed in. You have to know your avatar and you have to have a solid offer. And you have to have a way to nurture your audience in order for you to build up. Those are strategic, tactical things. But then you as the brand and the business have to also be able to properly communicate what you do and how you can get results. If you look at all of my social media and my website, I have testimonials upon testimonials because I believe in getting the client an ROI, but I also don't let everybody in my group. I only want women who are willing to do the work and that are committed to doing the work and that already believe in themselves and they're coming in to do the work. And when they meet those qualifications, then I let them in and then I know we're going to have massive results. But if I have to tell somebody that you can be successful over and over again, it's really hard because they don't believe it can work for them themselves. So I'm not here to like baby anybody. I'm here to show you how to get that result fast. Do you want to make $1 million? Let me show you how to do it fast. And again, we've helped 51 women become millionaires because they were playing smaller than they could. They were doing too much. Like a lot of them were not having offers that could bring the wealth in, but they had like systems in place, but they weren't necessarily operating at a level that they could be. And and they think that they have to wait to make this money, You could be making $10,000 a month and make 50,000 next month. That's how fast it can happen. That's how we quantum leap. That's how you collapse time. You don't have to make this whole year where you're like, oh, I made $100,000 this year. You could make $10,000 a month, 50,000 next month, 75 the next month, 100, whatever. You don't have to do it the way people think. You have the right offers, the right lead generation, the conversion. And the first 8 weeks when you work with me, we have to do an identity shift work because I need to get you elevated into your most powerful version of who you are to call in the wealth. So there is, for the first 8 weeks or so, there is a deep transformational period because I have to get your nervous system regulated, number one, and to rewire your neural pathways for more wealth. Is there any time one-on-one in the 25K offer? No, there's not. Do we work together? Yeah, we work together on a call together to build. Yeah, so you'll be on the call. And anybody who's like onboarded, you'll see, we just did it with a gal. She's a lawyer, Chu. We did it last week on her call. And she does, she has a decent social media, and her offer was, I'm drawing a blank on it. It was a prenup agreement. And, she also does estate planning. So what we did is we restructured her current offers because I saw that one of her offers was cannibalizing another offer because of the pricing, and that she had she was offering so much too many things on the offer everybody was going for. So I'm like, you have to remove this so you don't cannibalize your other offers. Because if your offers aren't structured correctly, you can cannibalize them. And then people will never ascend up. They'll stay and buy the cheapest one available because it's available instead of going for the more advanced one, and like that it's marketing. It's also proper messaging and calling in the right person and being able to. And so that's what I gave her. I gave her the right messaging to use with her marketing to market the higher ticket offer. And because that's what you always want to do. You always want to market the higher ticket offer and let people come into your lower ones in a different way. So she's got people who are making have $1 million plus net worth, and they're going for the lower offer. I'm like, you're doing something wrong. And she's like, I get it now. And so that call for just her alone was worth her $25,000 investment. Like, she just wired me the money. Like, there's so many women that just wire the money. They're like, oh, I'm in. They pay for the whole amount and they know what they're coming for. And just having that, it makes it fast, right? Because then they can get results. She's got a whole year with me though. Yeah, you learn so much because you see what we do with other women. Like, I feel like it's more of a true mastermind because there's other women that have like contacts or connections or services that can help you too. Like, yes, they came for me to help them, but there's also, it's such a community where you can learn from other women. We've got women who have different types of businesses in there. Like, they're from every walks of life, like every walks of life. So it's not just a bunch of coaches in one area. Um, uh, So the Millionaire Club is not going to help you in your business to sell large buildings in the sense of like me coaching you through it. But what it will do is it will get you into your next level so that you can have the conviction and the confidence and the courage and the embodiment to go out there and sell the buildings that you want to. So we've had real estate agents that are in there. One of them is just crushing it right now. She just got 3 awards in a row, and she had by taking this program, the Millionaire Club, she just opened up her own academy for real estate agents. And she now is another one is selling like, instead she was doing maybe like $1 million properties. Now she's doing 5, 6, $7 million properties. So she's increased the level of client that she's working with by going to the Millionaire Club because of the shift that she had because she was thinking too small, and she was also had a limited money mindset. So she was not operating at the highest level that she could be. And that was the massive shift that happened for her in that group. But there is no business coaching per se in that one. That's why you have to go into, because that's how my offers are set up. Because if I did everybody in that group with business coaching, it would be taking too long. And obviously I value what I do. $25,000 is actually a lot lower. We used to have this program priced at 30, but because I'm planning on scaling it and bringing in more people into this group and growing it in such a way that it becomes a place where your business besties and all the information you can have there, we did lower the price of it for paid in full is 25,000. And then there was a payment plan for it as well. Any other questions? Because we are going to get into our next session. Nothing else? We're good? Well, I hope that you guys got a lot of value. I would love you guys to drop some takeaways below, and you guys could jump up to VIP right now to get personalized coaching. There's a link below. Sash will put it down there. But I think we have a different Zoom, right? A Zoom call. So if you guys could drop some takeaways from this call right now that you're on. In this next call, the VIP, I'm going to do hot seat coaching. So you're going to tell me something specific about you, and I'll be able to coach you specifically on it. But if you can do me a favor and just do some takeaways from today's call, that would be great for the Q&A. I would love to hear what your takeaways were. You all had a takeaway. Drop something below. Come on. I want you to see that you can have a shift. Ashley's just on fire in the Millionaire Club. She's just crushing, man. Um, I learned that there were 3 things that I didn't even know I could have that other women were getting natural. Let's go. What were the 3 things? Can the Millionaire Club please? Oh, okay,
Oh.
hold on. Yeah, what are the 3 things?
I would just the things like when you were talking about your friend, I was like, I didn't even know that was possible. So that's awesome.
Oh, the gal that's receiving money from men. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. She's in that frequency fully. You know, she knows how to embody what it means. I mean, I've never paid like I've ever been partnered with a man. I don't pay for anything either. My ex has been paid for my. That's what men do. So men take care of us, and that's what we're. You know, it doesn't mean that I'm helpless. It means that I'm a woman who is in receivership of the masculine. Don't be afraid to turn down a misaligned client regardless of the potential payment. Yes, you know, a lot of people have a problem with that. Need to regulate nervous system to call in more money. Yes, that's well, you're taking ATQ right now, aren't you, Christine? So that's oh, okay. Well, you need to get in that program immediately. That's a must take program. Plus, it's also like my when you're in that program, you start creating a reality because it's the energetically you learn how to master emotions to create the reality you want. It's set up like a manifesting course, but it's not really because it's like, who do I need to become and the identity needs to be to quantum leap. And so that program is going to get you the results. Do you know who Jackie is? She's in your group. She is crushing. She joined the Millionaire Club and she just told me again, had her highest cash months. She keeps going up and up and up and she's doing the work. And so it's like, you just have to get yourself out of the stuckness so that you can get into the more. And until you can make this shift and get out of the fear, and I know you grew up with a lack family because you've been on a lot of these calls, but until you do something that challenges the fear in the face and you go and leap, you'll stay in the same cycle over and over again. You have to be able to take the plunge and go do something that terrifies you in order for you to break the cycle that you're in. And this is why most people don't make big investments because they stay stuck. I see that I'm not saying this to you, but I see the same people over and over on the same free stuff or the little courses, and they're not ascending up into the higher investments because they letting fear control and dictate because they think that they've got it made. They think, but then I'm like, well, show me your bank account. You know, show me your bank account. Let's see how consistent your money is. If you have inconsistent months, you most likely have an abandonment wound. You know, it's like, show me how you are constantly making money in your business. And like, and not to say that that never happens because we're entrepreneurs, so it will, but it's being able to know and expect that more money is on its way, but also actually have it. Thank you, Shamina. I have billings worth millions of euros in my portfolio and I would like to sell them. If I understood correctly, it would help me raise my, yes, 100%, 100. Yes, yes, yes. So you can receive more wealth and more money from the things that you're selling. Absolutely. Because you're going to value them at a higher level. And so you're going to get into the frequency of not getting into desperation of just selling to who you want them to be or who you want to just to offload them. You'll attract the high value buyers from Millionaire Club. You'll understand how to attract high value clients and high value buyers. Would you say that's true, Nora? That's what I teach, right? High value clients and high value buyers, because you will have ascended up into your highest level of who you're becoming so that you are not meeting yourself at the prospect's ability to pay you, but rather at the value that you present is how you're going to grow and receive more wealth. Jenna, you should just book a call or just send her the link and let her join the Millionaire Club. You won't regret it at all. It'll be one of those things where you're like, I wish I did this sooner. Because we collapse time in that group. We move fast. And women keep renewing with me because it's a great place to be in to hold the frequency of wealth. Because where in your life are you going to constantly be in a place where someone's up leveling you, helping you up level to your next higher self, right? You want that. You want to be around women who are in that energy because that's what creates more wealth. When you're around the people, like, and I've invested almost $1 million in hiring mentors in programs because I want to get there faster. I want to collapse time. I want to be making the money constantly and fast. I don't want to wait and mess around. I want someone who's done it and show me what to do because I'm coachable. Just tell me what to do and I'm going to get it done. That's all you got to do. Tell me what to do. I'm going to get it done. And that's what I do. So all my mentors say they wish they had 100 more of me because they're like, Shamina just crushed it. I don't sit around and wait. I'm like, I value myself, but I also bet on myself, you know? All right. So that's it. Janet. Okay. Janet, did you hear what, Nora Zoe said? She said, yes, Jenna, you won't regret it. So go in there. We'll team drop the link again to book a call and we hope to see you. Well, you will start closing those millions of buyers. Don't worry, your frequency will go up. Every week you get on the call with us, you're going to have a transmission of a higher level of money and wealth. There is a frequency that comes with every single call. And the women, even if they haven't caught up in all the videos, they're always on the call to get the activation on the call because that's what's happening. When I'm channeling, it's like a chrysalids. They're getting it imposed, like they're getting it from inside all the way to their cells. And that's what you want. It really is. And I show you how to get into that high frequency. I mean, that's what I live for because money loves me and money loves me in the millions, not just in dollars, in the millions, because it's endless amounts. Christine's laughing, right? But that's what it is. It does love me. It does love me. And it just wants to just support me and take care of me and let me live my lavish, lovely life with yachts in the Amalfi Coast and just do all the damn things. And I just get to attract the most amazing, dreamy clients because that's the way life is. Oh my gosh, we're over at the VIP. Let's go. I want to make sure I get the VIP taken care of. So if you just joined a little late, if you guys just joined a little late and you weren't able to get the beginning of this Q&A, it's yours to watch over again. I believe there's a lot of value in this call. So listen to it. Don't you agree? This was a good, valuable call. You got a lot of stuff in here and you're getting me. You know, one woman said, she was talking to me yesterday. She was like, well, how much would it cost to get an hour of your time? I said, it'll take $5,000 for 30 minutes to get me one-on-one. So when people come into my Millionaire Club or they're on my calls, just think about the access that you're getting to me right here of the information. Don't worry. I saw you trying to connect the whole time. Jessica, I would go watch it. You should just pull the trigger and just literally join the Millionaire Club and you can ascend up. That's all you got to do, girl. What is stopping me from so that's just a belief that you have that you need one-on-one. You don't need one-on-one. It's just a belief that you think that I'll tell you, I'll be truthful why you think that, because you're afraid to show up authentically and vulnerably like yourself, that you think you have to tell things in secret, but that's not true. You don't need one-on-one. And actually I have found groups move you faster than one-on-one ever could, because the things that you're afraid to bring up, other people will say. And I'm telling you, I have worked with so many women. We are at a place where it's like, you think you're special because you like, and I get it. You think I did this too. I had a mentor. I'm like, is there no one-on-one? He's like, what do you need one-on-one for? I'm like, I don't know. It was the same thing. I had this fear of like, if I ask a question, I'm going to feel like I'm asking something that's so ridiculous and everybody else won't need. And it's just me. You will be surprised. I've had a woman, her name is Mariah. She had her highest cash month at $95,000. This was 2021. She was sick that month, but she had one of her most massive breakthroughs when I was mentoring a woman named Trina. Mariah had this massive breakthrough and it changed her life when I was mentoring another woman. You don't realize that your subconscious is running the show in a way that you can't even see and think right now. And when you see other women doing it, it's like the fastest way for transformation because you're like, oh, yeah, that actually is me too. That actually is me. And you think you know what your problem is right now, but, and this is me giving you tough love. If you knew what if the problem was, you would have solved it already. You don't know. I know the patterns. I know why you said one-on-one. Like, because this is okay. So this is the anxiousness. I'm just giving you as an extra. Is there people waiting to go into the other one? I want to make sure we're respectful of everybody's time. So you think time is limited. This is why you have a conditioning. Everything has to be hard to earn. So because you're in that mindset still, you feel like you're still exchanging time for money. You must have just come out of corporate because you have that mindset right there where you're like one exchange for another. You haven't moved over into a value-based mindset, and that's why you won't attract clients into that value-based mindset, unfortunately. So you're going to be calling people in scarcity. They're going to complain about money when they want to work with you. They won't be fast action buyers because you haven't presented a problem for solving, because you're still going to be speaking to them in such a way that they're looking to get the things. Whenever someone's like, what do I get in the program? What are all the things? That person is looking for stuff and they're not looking for a solution. So if time is what, Nora's laughing because she's like, I know all this because I've been there, done that. But honestly, Jessica, that's where it is. And we'll break your pattern because when you elevate, you'll attract people. Because ideally, how you want to run your business is getting out of the one-on-one. Because how I did that to start with, you will not be able to scale your business doing one-on-one. I am a master at groups and programs. I'll show you how to do it. I made $1 million doing one call a week. One call a week. I'll show you what to do. You got to just trust the process. And if you think time is running out, you're still exchanging. You said you just joined. So that what you just said about time, you're still in that belief system of I do this, I get this. I do this, I get this. Instead of what's the one thing that's going to propel me to the next level? And it could just be a shift. That's it. That's value-based mentality. Nothing wrong. And I'm not calling you out. I was there too. Because I'm like, what are all the things I get? But what if it was just the one shift that turned you into making $1 million? Yeah, I know. I already know. I already read you. I already know what you need to do. Yeah, that's my gift. I can do it in minutes. So I already know what your patterning is. You have to just break a cycle that you're in right now. But you're a hard worker, but you don't have to work so hard. And when you shift into that, it will change. So let me give you one last thing, and I'm going to go into the other. So when I started doing my business, I did start with one-on-one coaching. I did a group, actually, but I did one-on-one, and then I went to group, and then I had one-on-one plus a mastermind. And I was making a lot of money with my one-on-one. And then I came to a point where I did that. I had clients paying me because I kept upping my pricing because I kept having a wait list because I only did one-on-one I used to do it every day, and then I changed it to just Tuesdays and Thursdays. But then I was capped out. I was doing one call after another. And I was like, my days are just shot. And I was like, this feels like me being a lawyer again. Each of these clients were paying me anywhere from $4,000 up to $7,000 or $8,000 a month. So I want to say I had 15 or 16 one-on-one clients. They're amazing. I made a lot of money. Then I came to a point where I'm just like, I cannot scale my business this way. There's no way I'm going to be able to scale my business having this many one-on-one. And what I did was I hired this mentor, the conscious marketer. He doesn't mentor anymore. And that's where my whole brand got developed and was in there. And he's like, we need to get you out of the one-on-one. I'm like, yeah, I need to get out of this. And let's go into one-to-many. But I was so resistant. I'm like, how can I get someone on the same transformation, one-to-many from one-to-one? There's no way. I had this belief too, like I couldn't do this. And he's like, you just think that, but just watch. And he's like, go create a program, go start marketing it. And before I knew it, the women in the mastermind were having more transformations than the women in one-on-one. My one-on-one clients can go to the mastermind too. The thing of it is that one-on-one, they sometimes just want to come just talk to you as opposed to just getting shit done, right? And when you're in a group program, you're like, you have this accountability with other people there because you see how fast they're working. You're like, I want to do this too. Or you also see the sticking points with other people. And you're like, oh my gosh, that's my sticking points too. And the year came up where I decided, it was June 2021. I had an offer for 10K for my mastermind. It was only 6 months. And I remember one of my mentor, this guy at the time, he said, so I said, I have a $20,000 offer and 10. He's like, how many people are in the 20? I go, none yet. He goes, oh, so you only have $10,000 offer. And I was like, I left there. I went to another in-person event. In-person events are amazing. If you haven't got a ticket to Chicago, you are like, and we're half sold out. You need to get one now. We're doing a price increase because I'm going to talk about all this stuff there too. So he said, I went to this other person event and I decided there that was going to be it was right after, a week later. I said, all right, $20,000 offer. I went around this room and explained, and everybody was, I went around the room. All the women in the room were explaining what they did. I realized that nobody in the room did what I did. When it got to me, I explained what I did. All the women in the room were like, we need to hire you. I literally had a line of women lined up, shoving their credit cards in my face for $20,000. And I had $20,000 offer right there. I left there. And then I decided I need to get rid of my one-on-one clients. I knew I was going to do it. It was June. I was going to release everybody in July, and I did. And I was going to blow up my mastermind because I'm like, I can get way faster results and I can scale this really fast and I will get my time back. I remember riding on my Peloton and I was like, this is going to be so scary. I'm like, but I've only made money through one-on-one in this way. And I was like, I started crying on the Peloton because I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be such a scary thing. I'm letting go of the one-on-one. And I said, Shamina, what do you know to be true? Money can come from anywhere. It does not have to just come from one-on-one. And I just was crying and I was crying and I started saying, more is coming, more is coming, more is coming. And that's when I believed more is coming. And if you have just joined my world, you know that it's become a tagline in everything I do. I believe more is coming. And that month, did my income go down? Absolutely. But then the following month, I made bank. And so I signed up so many people at my $20,000 was selling like hotcakes. We had women out the door. I was doing master classes, 8 or 9 of them. We had a master class called Embodied Opulence. We converted, I want to say like 15 women into there on just one master class. It is possible. You just don't understand when you think a certain way, it's holding up your money. I freed up so much of my time so I can go speak on stages. I can do my podcast. I can create my content. I can write my book. I can do all the things that I wanted to do to create an impactful brand. The way you think will either create your wealth or it will stall your wealth. That's all I got to say. So you think you want to do one-on-one and you think you got to start there first, but I'm telling you, if you can go right to a group, you will make bank. You will make your million way faster because it's easier to leverage that time and sell to more people at a higher ticket than what you're doing right now. And I am a master at this. This is what people come to me for because one, I know how to sell high ticket. I also know how to create high ticket and I know how to help you believe that you can do it too with the valuation of what you're putting in there. The mistake most women make is they put too much in that high ticket and that's what burns them out. And that's how I bring them back. All right. Hopefully that was valuable. Put a link down there. You guys are all looking at me like, damn, she just went to church. I sure did because I'm really good at business coaching. Christine's like, you did. All right, ladies. Because who wants to work all the time? I want more time back. I don't miss one thing of my kids' event. I need to go to the gym. I need to create. I need to do all the things that I came here to do. And my time being locked up with one-on-one is not the way to go. I make more money now than I did before. My old self, who was a lawyer, was thinking in that terms, but my new self, who's transformed, knows that I can create exponential wealth fast and quickly. And you can create more offers too. All right, memberships. There's so many things. Yeah. All right, ladies, thank you so much. For those of you that are on the VIP, I will meet you on that call right afterwards. If you want to get hot seat coaching and sign up, there's a link that Sash just dropped there. I think you just pay the difference. It's $77 or something like that. And you can, or whatever it is, and you can jump on to get high seat coaching and we will be over there. We'll see you guys over there. I hope you guys enjoyed this Q&A. Bye for now.